You can use light key frequencies to heal and prosper. Benefits include improved sense of well-being, clarity, peace, and abundance. Join today to embrace your divinity.
Hello, good day, good evening, good morning to all our friends who are watching us from various parts of the world. Since the light key system is now practiced in almost 98 countries, we're touching 100 soon. I'm sure we're reaching out to different time zones all at one go. I'm Dr. Winnie and I'm an avid light key practitioner, and I love doing light key work and I love interacting with other light key practitioners. So today we have an excellent light key practitioner for you, and stay tuned because this is going to be a treat for all of you. We have an amazing individual and a light key practitioner called Jackie MacLean. Hello, Jackie.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Winnie.
Yeah. So Jackie and I are conversing over different time zones. This is the beauty of light keys. You can just practice them from the comfort of your home. So speaking about Jackie, Jackie is a clinical hypnotherapist. She's been practicing since 16 years now. She's the creator of the alcohol freedom formula. And she has been successfully helping businessmen, entrepreneurs, professionals deal with their drug and alcohol addictions. So, Jackie, could you tell us a little about yourself? How did you come to choose the work you do?
That's a beautiful story. I always like to say the work I do, which is hypnosis, found me rather than me finding hypnosis. And this happened about 16 years ago when my husband, my ex now, we were married for 16 years at the time. And he left me for a beautiful Russian woman, half my age, about 19 years ago. At that time, I was looking for answers and I found hypnosis. And it really saved my life. And when I look back, I realized why I do what I do, helping people. Because Winnie, I grew up in Mumbai, I used to call it Bombay at the time. And I grew up in a very abusive environment. Alcoholism, it was rampant in my family. My father used to drink every day and he used to beat us in his drunken state every day. My brother followed in his footsteps and he died when he was 36. And I couldn't understand why it was happening. And the story, the pattern continued in my own life with my husband. And so more recently, I found the light keys and it's totally changed things for me, Winnie. It's totally changed things for me. In fact, I'm very grateful to Karen Leslie. Hi, Karen. I want to say thank you so much to you. I met Karen, I've known Karen on Facebook, and it's only about 3.5 months ago at the end of Feb where I took my first light key class, the basic light key. And then it seemed like that wasn't enough. And 2 weeks later, I took another training with her, the Joyous Body Protocol. And it's changing so much for me. And it seems like I can't get enough. I just want the next and the next. And I realized it's because it's changing so much for me. I'm feeling so much lighter, so much freer, so much happier. And the wonderful thing about it, Winnie, is nothing seems to faze me. As we know, there's so much going on in our world. People are struggling with the COVID situation. And if there is something that comes to mind, I just use these tools, I use these frequencies, and it disappears almost like magic.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. That is so amazing. Your authenticity, your willingness to really show up there and and just gift us this possibility where we can see what the light keys can create for us. So I always say that it is not just light keys, it is the light key school of magic, and the frequencies are magic wands, like how we refer to them. So how do you use it in your practice, Jackie? How you've shared your story beautifully, but when it comes to clients and people you help with, how have you been using light keys to help your clients?
When I was introduced to the light keys, I didn't know what it was about. I still remember asking Karen, what are the light keys and what is this and what's that? Of course, I went into my head asking those questions. And my intention was to do this for myself. I just wanted to help myself because I noticed that I had certain patterns that would just come up again and again and again, especially with relationships and with money. So I would have good times and then there would be a dip, and with relationships. So I initially just did this for myself. And then I started using them with my clients. And of course, the most simple one that I use with all of my clients, in fact, this is part of the protocol in my hypnosis practice. Like I teach them simple other techniques, but now the light keys is part of it. Like I don't have a single hypnosis session that doesn't go with the light keys. And it's phenomenal. And of course, the waves of kindness. Are you okay with I share the success that I've seen with my clients, Vinny?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we're here for. So we would like to know, Jackie, that for 16 years you've been using hypnosis alone. Now it's just been a few months that you've integrated light keys in your sessions as well. So we would love to know what's different now and how it has contributed to your client outcomes.
And so hypnosis is an awesome tool because in my world, hypnosis is accessing our own subconscious mind to make change. And so I was having a lot of success using hypnosis. But there is a sense that the light keys is going so much deeper. Like I really don't have words to explain. One of the things is like hypnosis was fast, quick and easy and fast. My sense is, not my sense, my experience is that the light keys is even faster if that's possible, right? So I was recently working with a young girl, she's 23, and she doesn't struggle with addictions, but she was constantly having negative thoughts. So her mother got her to book these sessions with me. Constantly negative thoughts. So I asked her, I said, what do you mean? She says, I have negative thoughts all the time. She's so beautiful. She could be a model. And she looks in the mirror and she says, you're ugly. Then she doesn't drive because she tells herself these negative thoughts that if she goes for the driving test, she's going to fail the test. So she doesn't drive. She goes by bus and she'll hold the bar and she'll put her head on the bar. And if it bangs against the bar, she'll tell herself that people are looking at her and laughing at her. Constant negative thoughts. And she was also afraid of doing hypnosis because she had so much anxiety in her body. One of the techniques that I used, and of course, I don't teach my clients these, it's just use them, and helped her with was one of these high frequencies. And she had a lot of anxiety in her chest. And we started on a scale of 1 to 50, where are you? And she said she was at a 50. And I continued using this technique on her. And it went down to a 40, a 39, a 34, 30, 20, and a 15, all in less than like 7 minutes. And her anxiety left her body.
Wow.
There was another young lady who had come to me. She's 27 and she was struggling with alcohol and cigarettes. And I used the same technique on her. She mentioned that she had a lot of this anxiety in her chest, in her jaw was tight, in her temple. And again, she was at a 90, 98 with sadness. And then it went down to an 80, and then it went down to a 20. And that was in 2 or 3 minutes. Next we did the jaw, the tightness in the jaw. It was at 80, and it went down to a 0 because we had already done it. I had already done that one. Then, of course, we went to her temple. And then, of course, she immediately said, it's already at a 0. She said, I feel loose, I feel lightness, I feel calm. And so many other clients that, this is something that I just do for my clients because it's giving them so much calmness and peace and bringing down their anxiety in minutes. And of course, I teach them how to just waves of kindness, right? Waves of kindness. I started working with a client last week, and she too doesn't have any addictions, but again, she has negative thoughts and anxiety. And she called me yesterday. She sent me an email and asked for help because that's one of the things I do, that people can connect with me during the program. And she said that her stepson said to her, you're not part of my family. And that really triggered her. So we got on a call, and then we went through a process. And both of us sent waves of kindness to this young boy. And it was magical. In a few minutes, her anxiety went down. And I taught her, I said, on your way home, just send your young stepson. He's 9 years old. I said, just send him waves of kindness. So these frequencies have made my work so easy, Vinny.
I'm getting goosebumps. Like, I have been doing like these for a few months now. And every time I hear a story, it's amazing how people have been struggling with anxiety, depression, aches, pains, physical ailments, and how simple techniques can just, like in a matter of a few minutes, it just vanishes away. It is amazing. And waves of kindness is an amazing tool. Like, Nila has given out a few free tools which are so effective. They're like an emotional first aid, or any first aid that we can just go to anytime we feel like we need them.
And that's what I mean when I say I've made it part of my protocol. Waves of kindness is just part of it. You got to do it.
Yes, anybody can do waves of kindness because she has so generously, given it out to us. And it's amazing that you and other practitioners are really imparting it to people so that they bring more ease to themselves.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, Jackie, you said you have learned JBP as well, the Joyous Body Protocol. So how do you use the JBP with your clients?
I don't believe I've used it with my clients, but I've used it on my family members. And so my grandson is 14, and we have a situation with him from the time he was born. He's now on the spectrum, and we didn't know that for the longest time. But he has struggled for these past 14 years. Number one, he was about a foot shorter than all kids his age. So that growing up period, like he was always small. He's skinny. You can, he puts a shirt up, you can see his ribs. So he's short, he's small, and he couldn't read for the longest time. So I believe he started reading only about 3 years ago. So he was a lot of bullying in the school. When I learned JBP, I decided to do that on him and my daughter. And I first asked her, and she wanted nothing to do with it because she was stressed. So I decided just to gift it to them. And I did it for 11 days on my daughter and my grandson. And then when I had a conversation with my daughter after that, she told me that she had gone to some practitioner and the doctor told her that his situation is he will grow to a normal size. I mean, he'll still be small, but he'll grow normally. Because that was one of my concerns, because technically this year he goes to high school. And the high school, the kids are 6 feet tall. And this child is so small. It's like in grade 8, how will he survive? And that, you know, and then when I saw him, when I met him, his birthday was on the 25th of April, actually. I went and gave him a gift. He looked different. His aura was different. He was speaking more clearly. And my daughter is, you know, it's like everything seems to fall into place. Like she was trying to send him to a special school. She called so many schools. And they've got the school that he's going to attend. And this is my sense that doing the JBP on her and on him has helped with this process of moving things along.
Like I'm saying, who would think that just doing the JBP, working on certain points on the body would create so much externally? We're not just talking about physical ease here. We're talking about ease with life in general.
Yeah.
And there seems to be no, like when as we speak to more people, it really seems to be no limit to which these frequencies and the JBP could contribute.
Yeah. I want to tell you another story, which is my own personal thing. I'll just keep this story short. Like I mentioned, I have these money stories, right? And one of my money stories that I've realized now is I have this tendency of lending people money and they don't return it. And they were big amounts. So I think until there was a time and I stopped this pattern in 2016, actually. So prior to that, maybe 5 years prior to that, there were 4 or 5 people, 5 sets of people whom I had lent about $30,000 to. One was 10,000 and 5,000, 5,000, whatever, like 30,000 or little more. And of course, I still haven't got that money back. And then until I realized it was a pattern. And then I stopped that pattern in 2016. And like, I realized it came to my awareness, this is not happening. And then last year, a friend of mine whom I've just known for about 2 or 3 years, she was in trouble and she needed money. So I lent her $5,000. Now this was during COVID and my business was slow as well, but I could see she was in so much pain. So I lent her $1,000 from my bank account and I didn't have much. I just had enough money to pay my rent and for food. And then I lent her $4,000 for my credit card. And so a total of 5,000. She said she would give it to me at the end of the month or 1 month or something. It took 8 months. And there was some conversation and she went into this conversation about, I can't trust you. And I was in shock. I'm like, I have lent you the money and you can't trust me. And I couldn't understand that. And I remembered what Nila had taught in one of her classes. And Nila had taught about doing certain frequencies. And one of them was sending her waves of kindness. And the other was GEF. So for days, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks, I sent this woman just those 2 frequencies. And then lo and behold, about 1 week ago, she sent me a large part of the money. So, I mean, these are magical frequencies that they work with everything. So I'm so grateful for this. And thank you for allowing me to share, Winnie. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Jackie, for taking this time out. Why do we take time out and share? That's because we're so grateful that this has just opened up a totally different way of living, which brings so much peace and joy. And if it could inspire maybe even just a person to choose it, I don't have words to express the feeling. I mean, we understand why Nila does this, you know, she's and why the facilitators do this and why the practitioners do it. Because if you were really in touch with yourself, like if I'm in touch with myself, you're in touch with yourself,
Yeah.
we would be happy and we would be spreading joy.
Yes.
And
yeah.
and like I would love to see a world living like that. And speaking
Hopefully.
about me, what about you? Where do you intend to go from here? So you say you're just a few months old and you've just done a few courses and so much is changing already.
Totally.
Where are
In
you headed
fact,
now?
in May was my best month in so many years. I was just like, wow. So my intention, you know, the money is good, but the purpose of money for me is bringing me ease in my life and allowing me to do the things I want to do. So I want to take a training. I don't want to have that sense, oh, do I have enough money in my bank account? You know, I just want to be happy and free and share.
Yes.
So it seems like I want my eyes on expert healer. I don't know how that's going to go. Well, I know it will go there, but I just, it comes to my awareness all the time. I've got a list of all the things that I have to do in preparation for expert healer.
I was here a few months ago. I had my list too because I just couldn't have enough of the keys. And I didn't know how I would be an expert healer, but it just happened. I chose. That's a different story. And I am an expert healer. And when people say they want to be expert healers, I'm like, yes, you will get there. I did. So will you.
Yeah.
Or anybody who wants to get there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie. All the best. I'll
Thank you so much.
We'll be seeing you as an expert healer soon, doing attunements and sending out blessings to people. And yeah, anything you would like to leave our viewers with?
I would like to say, don't think about this about as taking a training or taking a course or how much is it going to cost me and I don't have the time. Just make the decision that I want to change my life. Make the decision that I want to be happy and free. Make the decision that enough is enough. The past is in the past. I can let it go. And I have the opportunity to live a healthy, happy life. And I can do it quick and easy. And once you set that intention, make that decision, things simply unfold. Like I've known about Nila through Facebook for many years. And it simply fell into my lap when I was ready. So on some subconscious level, I made the decision to be happy and free. So I welcome you all. Take this opportunity. And Nila's trainings, these frequencies that she teaches, these light key frequencies, I've done so many modalities. I have never come across something that's so quick and so easy. So choose for yourself. And if you want to reach me and have a conversation with me, I welcome you. Let's simply have a chat. I love speaking. I love talking. I love teaching. I love having conversations. And you can contact me through my website. It's www.thepowerwithin.ca. And remember, I live in Vancouver, so it's Pacific time, Vancouver, Canada. But I'm happy to have a conversation with any one of you all over the globe. Thank you.
That's really generous. And I'm grateful to you, Light Keys, Nila, Infinite Healing Team, and just about everybody, my facilitators, my practitioners, because they've all been so contributing and they've just held this space where I could grow. So this work is a joy, and I do wish that people choose more and more Light Keys, bring ease to their lives, and I don't know what's possible with this. So yeah, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, wishing you luck and wishing you loads of success on your journey with Light Keys.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinny.